afternoon. Welcome inside Raiders Press Conference Live, presented by Intermountain Healthcare. Kevin Bollinger alongside former Raiders great Eric Allen, coming off another disappointing and frustrating afternoon for the Raiders against Cincinnati. EA, what's the takeaways after watching that?
Well, yeah, we really can't sugarcoat it, Kev. It was a bad performance all the way around. And again, you hate to see this coming off of the last couple of games here, but we need to figure out a way to push through this. And it's easy to say move on, but you got to learn from these. You really do. You got to learn from them. And there's some bright spots, Kevin, as we've seen. Defensively, I thought, again, put tremendous pressure on the quarterback. What about that drive in the middle of the game or late in the game with the tight ends kind of dominating? But just really don't see the confidence, the consistency, the execution, all those things that I know Coach Rich is going to talk about in a few minutes. But just a ugly performance, not Raider-like.
And we saw in the post-game interviews with the players, the frustration kind of come out. And I think if you're part of Raider Nation, you like to see that. I mean, this is a team that knows that the talent is there. They just have to execute, is the word that Derek Carr used a lot.
I think so. And again, when you're talking about this Raiders football team, we see the effort. The effort is there. That's not the issue. The issue is untimely penalties and lack of execution, not being able to keep the ball away from an offense that's going at a certain point. So it's really, really important that this team finds a way to play clean football, play complementary football, offense and defense, and find a way to run the ball a little bit better in pivotal times of the game.
Well, we're getting ready to hear from interim head coach Rick Bisaccia. He's getting ready to take the podium to speak with the media to talk about yesterday and that short week with the Dallas Cowboys coming up on Thanksgiving. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back. We're going to hear from Coach Bisaccia.
This program has been presented by Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation, made to chill.
All right, welcome back into Raiders Press Conference Live. We're still awaiting interim head coach Rick Bisaccia to take the podium and start talking here. Obviously, you want to talk a little bit about yesterday, but on a short week, they've already turned the page. I mean, it's all Cowboys right now.
Wow. I mean, you can imagine. I mean, just a couple days, and you have to get ready for this team down in Dallas that is coming off a tough loss themselves. Outstanding defense, outstanding running game. Maybe a couple of the receivers going to be banged up, but this is a team that you cannot sleep on. They're extremely talented, big physical offensive line. So this is the kind of week where you wish you had even more days to prepare for a team like this. So you really have to kind of plan your how you're going to get it done. You probably start that planning coaching-wise last week, help these players kind of get on to the Dallas Cowboys. But it's going to be difficult to prepare in such a short time for a team as talented as Dallas.
Now, players have creatures of habit, things you're used to doing, film Monday, off day Tuesday. That's all out the window. How do the players and the coaches approach this short week in terms of practice and preparation?
Well, Kevin, as you know, this is going to be difficult because you have a lot of younger players, and they're not used to having, basically no days off. So you're in today, and you're treating all those minor, wounds and bangs that you received in Sunday's game. So you're in the ice tub, but while you're in the ice tub, you got your iPad, and you're looking at film. You're trying to break down yourself first, your performance from yesterday, and then you have to move on quickly and trying to get into maybe first and second down of the Dallas Cowboys. So that give you Tuesday to work third down. Wednesday, you're on the plane. You're headed to Big D on Wednesday. So it's going to be a very touchy transition from a difficult loss and then have that kind of energy to be able to move to Dallas and get ready for the Cowboys and have to have some confidence there. Usually in these situations when you're in a short week, you go back to what you do well, right? So I'm pretty sure defensively, you're talking about the pass rush again. You're talking about making sure up front you continue to play hard. You don't have to have a lot of practice because you know you're going to come to the ballpark each and every week with that. But offensively, man, it's difficult right now because you're like, what are we banking on? Who are we right now? What is our identity? We were an explosive football team. That hadn't really been the case the last 3 weeks. So you're really trying to find a way to get some confidence in some area of your game going to Dallas.
Well, Rich Bisaccia has taken a seat to talk to the media. We're going to listen to him, what he had to say about yesterday. But as EA said, what's he looking forward to as we head towards Cowboys week? Here's Rich Bisaccia.
Afternoon. Everything's faster today, ladies and gentlemen. So, watching the tape, they really look the same. You know, I think we really improved on. I think we played well enough on defense to give us a chance. Our tackling was much better than it was a week ago. We had talked about that. But certainly the self-inflicted penalties, especially on third down, put us in bad situations at times. And then we're still working through some of the, call them in sync issues that we have on offense and see if we can get ourselves going a little bit better in that direction. So also thought we came back and played better in the punt game, did a better job protecting him, and AJ, true to form, played pretty well, gave us a chance with some good punts in the red zone. With that, I'll take some questions.
Rich, it's usually the case in a season where sometimes you just got to plant your feet and start swinging back and fighting back. And it's been 3 weeks of, other teams kind of dictating terms with you guys. Do you feel like you got the capable guys in there from top to bottom to start swinging back and fighting back?
Well, we've been fighting. Fighting to me comes from the soul, and it's the heart of a man. I don't see those issues on tape. I feel like we've done a good job of battling. I think certainly the Kansas City game got away from us a little bit at the end, and maybe this game paralleled that one a little bit to some degree. We've had trouble extending third downs on offense, and then like I talked about earlier, we've shot ourselves in the foot a little bit defensively. We've had them stopped on multiple third downs. We've gotten penalties, and then when they got some manageable third downs, we haven't had a chance to stop them. So when you put your defense out there time and time and time again, and at times they're gonna break, right? There's gonna be a give in the wall. And so we have to do a better job offensively, keeping our defense off the field, extending third downs. But I don't see the fight or the will of our team or the will of the individual men in there being an issue. I don't see an issue in our effort or our ability to compete to the bitter end. But everyone has their take on it. I feel like we have to do a better job in executing our plays.
You guys have always been built as a team that wants to run the ball and be a punishing run game, but you haven't been able to do that yet this year. How much has that played into maybe some of those third down situations?
Yeah, again, Vin, I just think we're trying to see how we're built right now. I remember, I think 2 weeks ago, you guys were talking about how complimentary you were of the run game and how things were going better and looked like we were moving in the right direction, running the football, and we were giving all the credit to coaches and players and some of those things. So, we're just trying to do what we can, what we see going into the game, what we could take advantage of. That's the belief we have after we come out of the practice sessions. I think we went into the game with the same thing. These are things we believe we can do in order to help us get in position to score points. And it just hasn't gone that way. And again, we have to take that upon ourselves, what the reasons are, what we can do better execution-wise, what position we can put them in. Hopefully they can play better. And that's kind of how we're going about it today.
Derek said he thought the team was flat yesterday. What were your thoughts?
Can you just be a little louder, please?
Yeah, Derek said he thought the team was flat yesterday. I'm wondering what your thoughts were on that, especially at least on offense. So we thought if they were flat at all.
Well, again, I think I respect Derek's opinions, but I look at what we did on the first drive on defense, and we got the ball turned over, and we got the ball to +9, and we didn't do a very good job of coming out of there with points. We ended up getting a field goal. We'd like to have a touchdown in that situation. So, again, he has a right to his opinion. I thought we played with great energy early in the game.
Rich, how, as an in-game manager, as you've described yourself in the past, how much more aggressive would you like to see the offense in general, Derek in particular, be when attacking the end zone?
Yeah, again, we thought we had the plays called for the defenses that we were getting. Did we execute them well down there on the 9 when we first got there? No. But I look back at the second half, and we had a 3-play drive again. We went right down the field and put the ball in the end zone. And although it was a great drive for us, it was exciting to get a touchdown. We ended up putting our defense right back on the field again, as crazy as that is. And we didn't do a very good job on that particular kickoff. We gave them the drive start at the 38-yard line. So we're going to try to take advantage the best we can with the belief system we have going in of what they're going to give us to have a chance to put the ball in the end zone. It just hasn't worked out well lately.
Coach, you lost some of your key special teamers to injury last week. Who were the guys that kind of stepped up and contributed better this week?
Well, again, I thought AJ, again, played well, did a good job punting the football. We had to put some different guys in different spots. Patrick played and moved him over to tackle, and then we put Sutton Smith in, played for us on kickoff and kickoff return. And, so we've done some of those things. We got Daniel Helm now playing the wing for us on punt, and he's playing on kickoff return. So we're just going to kind of keep mix and matching the best we can. We put Zay back on the punt team, put him on the outside, and we've gotten Teamer back this particular week, and he played in all 4 phases.
Well, any other injuries coming out of yesterday?
Just right now, the one that's new is John Simpson. Has a little bit of a oblique strain that we're kind of be day to day as we go along, and I think that's the only one best of my knowledge that we have right now.
Any thought on Thursday yet for him, or it's still too?
Any thought on who?
On Simpson for Thursday, like you think of?
Again, I think right now it's day to day. He just had his MRI done this morning, so we're kind of feeling that one out.
Do the players and coaches in the locker room feel like that you guys have the confidence to get the problems corrected that you're seeing right now?
I'd like to think so. I know we do as coaches. I know we're going to always look inward first. You know, what did we do wrong? And then after that, you look at, okay, what are our problems? What solutions do we have to fix our problems? And that's how we're going to go about it in the meetings, giving that to our players. So it'll be an interesting week. It's a short week, just like it is for every team that plays on a Thursday night. We'll be in a lot of meetings, a lot of walkthroughs. I think we're 48 hours from getting on a plane and playing on Thursday. So hopefully we'll get us in position to have a belief system going into the game that we can do some things against our opponent that help us score points and win the game.
Coach, early on, watching the tape, what would you say is the biggest difference, just watching this Cowboys team and what they're doing now in comparison to when you were there with the Cowboys a couple of seasons ago?
Well, some of the players are still there. That quarterback, Dak Prescott's still there, and Zeke is still there, and they're extremely fast and physical on defense. They're really playing well in the kicking game. I think they've blocked 3 punts, 2 for touchdowns, I believe, in the last 4 weeks. And so they're an experienced team up front with Zach Martin and Tyron Smith, I believe, will be back, in our game. And those are 2 gold jacket type players. And anytime you play against Dak, you have to be aware of what he can do, how he extends plays on third down, along with all the other downs. And then certainly they're outside people, and I know Amari right now is in COVID, but CeeDee Lamb, we'll see what he does, and Gallup, and they're a tremendous roster. They're really well coached in all 3 phases. They're well experienced, and again, this will be a great challenge for us.
Good. You mentioned some of the struggles on third down. Has that made you consider whether to go for it on fourth down a little bit more, be more aggressive there? Or do you say, well, if we're not picking up third downs, probably not going to pick up a fourth down?
Well, we haven't really gotten, even on the 3rd and 1, we ended up losing, I think, 3 yards. It became 4th and 3 or 4th and 4, and I'd rather not go there then. And I thought our defense was playing well. We were giving up some field goals, but we thought we were playing well enough, and we had the turnover all early. You always think you got a chance to get another one. So, and last week we had the 4th and 1, and we went offsides and ended up punting the football. So all those things go through your mind. But I think especially defensively, we were playing well and didn't want to put ourselves in that position where we were on the field to have a chance to try to go for it.
You mentioned that you guys have talked about using Mariota on some packages on third down. What are the pros and cons in your mind of using Marcus in those situations?
Well, the pros would be certainly doing some things that our opponent hasn't seen. So you have a chance to do that, and certainly getting an athlete like him in the game with the ability to not only throw but certainly run the football. And you saw us put him out there last week in the 4th and 1, and just don't think we had a situation where we thought we should put him in there in this particular week's game. But it's constantly talked about as far as a curveball to some degree go against our defense, the defenses we're playing against.
Are there any cons? Or
say it again.
Are there any cons? You said those are the pros.
Well, I really don't know what the cons would be. He's an experienced player. He's played well before. We decided to go in for us. And again, it just puts us, we'd like to think when he goes in there, the advantage is for us, regardless of the down and distance.
That's it. Any more?
All right, that's Raiders
Okay,
interim head
thank you.
coach Rich Bisaccia talking on Monday after the loss to the Cincinnati Bengals. He said something interesting. He said, we see the problems. I guess the big question is, how do you fix the problem?
Yeah, that's a great point, Kevin. And what you come down to in this league, and it's very important outside of all of the issues that are outside the locker room, what you have to do in the National Football League is see the problem, fix the problem in practice, and show that you fixed it on film. And if you do that, then you can kind of move on. But before you show you fixed the problem, alleviated the issue on film, so it's documented, so the rest of the league doesn't see that there's some opening, there's some weaknesses in your offense or defense, they're going to continue to hammer at that until you fix it. So it's really important that you see it, and they've obviously seen it. You fix it in practice. Short week, and then you show it in the game that you fixed it.
Well, one of the problems they certainly have to fix on both sides of the ball is third downs. Coming up, we're going to go a little more in-depth on the issues on third down, both on the offensive side of the ball as well as defensively. That's coming up on the backside of the break. Stay with us.